So one thing you note about the CUV is that they are smaller. Sometimes we have what we call compact CUVs, right? They are CUVs, but they are smaller, right? So and CUV is what you can call as a tall wagon, right? It's like a tall wagon because the one major similarity is that both the CUV and um, the CUV and the station wagon is that they have a unitary frame, right? So when they have a unitary frame, they are similar. So we can say as a CUV is a tall wagon, right? And of course, when one look at both the CUV and the SUV is that they look similar, right? They are very similar, but the major difference is the frame. The SUV has a separate frame, and the CUV has a unitary frame. We'll talk about these types of frames, their advantages and disadvantages, and their constituents or members or parts, and of course parts of a saloon car. And we'll talk about that in the next video, actually, not after later, but the next video after this. All right. So if you like and subscribe, we can continue talking about this, and of course looking at much difficulty areas of vehicles, and we can have a better understanding. Okay. Yeah. Now let's talk about a limousine. Okay. Like this one is a 10-passenger black Lincoln limousine. And one thing you note, it's a variation of a saloon car still, of course, because it has a 3-box configuration, has the boot, the bonnet, and the passenger compartment. The only difference is that the passenger compartment is elongated or large or long, okay? And we can actually say this limousine is an extended saloon or an elongated saloon. And the major definition, of course, is that it's a luxury vehicle with a partition between the driver compartment and the passenger compartment. There is a partition between the two. The driver compartment here and the passenger compartment. Unlike a saloon where the passenger and the driver compartment are one room, in this case you just have 2 separate compartments for the driver compartment and the passenger compartment. And so this one will have like 4 compartments, all right? The bonnet, the driver compartment, the passenger compartment, and the boot compartment. And these are luxury vehicles. They're luxury vehicles because you'll have very nice interior design of the passenger compartment. So sometimes they can be used for rentals, like in weddings, right? Weddings, other occasions, birthdays, birthday parties, and so forth. Sometimes they can be used for driving VIPs like president and so forth, right? Look at that design. Interior design is just for luxury, right? You can even have a table with drinks and of course a television screen and so forth, and very good, nice music, right? And then let's address now commercial vehicles. Commercial vehicles, they feature a cab. Cab is a driver compartment and a load carrying compartment attached to a separate chassis or conventional chassis or frame, right? A separate chassis or conventional chassis or a frame. Usually the frame is a ladder or rail where side members are straight parallel sections. Sometimes they may be upswept at the rear to form what we call a wheel arch, and inswept at the front, inswept at the front, inswept and inswept at the front to do what? To accommodate or to give room for wheel turning during steering, for wheel turning during steering. And of course, that room will, of course, consider the Ackermann principle, the Ackermann principles of swiveling, right? The vehicle steering, wheel steering or wheel swiveling during steering. They will include pickup, vans, buses, lorries, okay, etc., 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 CTE. All right. So a pickup is a two-door front seating van. A two-door front seating van with an open back, sometimes with a canvas roof. This back here will sometimes have a canvas roof or cage with a cage. Sometimes you can create a cage here to, of course, to cover the luggage, and that roof, that cage will have can be covered with a canvas, right? And of course here, the luggage here, of course, we can also have a canvas roof here, just at this level here, okay? They are designed to carry various types of goods, right? So you can see that configuration. Of course, at the front you have the bonnet or the engine compartment, and sometimes you can have two rows of seats, right, and two doors on both sides. In the cabin, and that is what we call a double cabin pickup. Okay, a double cabin pickup, as a Nissan double cabin, right? And that is let's now talk about vans, all right? Vans. Now vans, they are strictly for carrying luggage, but the one difference between a van and a pickup is that this area here is a rigid roof all the way to the front, right? The front to the cabin area, and as you can see, there is no separate cabins, right? Just one cabin with a front door and a rear door. Sometimes a rear door, sometimes two doors on both sides, but it's one room. The luggage compartment and the driver area, they are one room. So it is a two-box configuration of luggage driver compartment and the engine compartment here at the front. Sometimes the engine might be located within here, so that you just have one room here, one room which will constitute the driver, one row of seats at the front for the driver, and of course 2 passengers or 1 passenger, and a large room at the back, and there are just one room where you have area for cargo. Sometimes, like in our country, we modify these vans to carry passengers. We just buy them from maybe China or Japan, and then when they arrive in Kenya, we modify and we put in seats, and we do a lot of upholstery and make them nice. Sometimes they are very nice and good for tourism as they visit the Masai Mara, the Aberdare regions, and they will just want to watch animals, and we have an opening at the top there which is covered with the next roof, or the roof can open up, and then you can be able to watch animals, take pictures and shoot videos, of course. So these vans are light good vehicles. They can travel for long journeys, or they can be used for door-to-door delivery. They have seats at the front for driver and one or two passengers, not drivers, 1 or 2 passengers, and they have one door on each side. We'll have a separate cab and body with a separate chassis, right? So the cab and the body will be separate, right? You have a chassis, and then you have the cab or the body where you have the passengers and luggage, or the passenger compartment can be separate from the chassis. But sometimes we have small vans which have an integral or unitary body. So that's a van. Look at that area here. It's not separate. It might be separate sometimes. You can have this area here is separate from the driver compartment, but it's still a van, and you can see it's for carrying luggage. The one thing you note about this, it's not a pickup, it's a van. So it's very similar to a pickup. Two separate compartments, the driver and the luggage compartments. But the major difference here is this rigid roof here for the van, all right? And this one is what we usually modify here. This kind of van we modify in this country. Instead of carrying luggage, we put in seats here. You can note this door. You can have three doors, not 3 doors, 4 or 5 doors. 2 front doors for the driver row seats, and 2 for accessing the cargo area, and of course at the back there also for accessing the cargo. Sometimes we have 3 doors. You have the 2 doors at the front and 1 at the rear for accessing the cargo area. And this is what we do in this country. We are very famous for this, and we modify them, we put it on, we decorate them, and they are very nice, and they have music, and they are for carrying passengers. Very nice vans. This is a bus or a coach. They are used for carrying passengers on long journeys where the exterior is luxurious. Where the exterior is beautiful, well designed, and the interior is luxurious to reduce fatigue and also for comfort. That is a double-decker bus. A double-decker bus will have another level at the top of the one below. So this one they are for carrying large number of people over short journeys, and normally in high density traffic, like in cities like Nairobi City, London City, New York City, Moscow City, all cities in the world, Johannesburg, like that. Of course, where there is high density traffic. Next is the lorry. That's what I was taught in nursery school to say. Lorry. Lorry. Okay? I say W because W is this W here for Wabugu is W. That's what you call it, W. Right? It's W. That's why I made that mistake. So it's lorry. And lorries are called lorries in Europe or UK and trucks in the USA. Right? So they come in various forms. This is a big truck. Look at that big truck. Which ones do you know? I know the Ford. You call it Ford Mustang, or what do you call them? Of course, you have all these buses. You have even electric buses nowadays. As a mini truck is rigid. It's not articulated like this one. So this one is an articulated tractor. Actually, it's a rigid tractor. What you see here is a rigid tractor, and we have an articulated trailer at the back. All right, and the trailer at the back can have several axles for wheels or wheels, and the trailer is where we have the most of the payload. All right, so you have the most of the payload. So this one is a rigid truck and articulated trailer, and this one is just a rigid truck all the way to the back. Right. So we have two classes of lorries. We have rigid trucks, and you can have an articulated tractor and trailer. Okay. So rigid trucks you can have 4-wheelers, and 4x2 means you have 4 wheel locations, and 2 of these wheel locations are for driving wheels or for giving power. So you have 4 wheel locations, but 2 of them at the back there are for giving power or for driving wheels. They are locations for driving wheels. A 6-wheeler 6x4 means 6 wheel locations, and 4 of which are for driving wheels. For driving wheels. So you'll have 6 wheel locations, but 4 of those are for for driving wheels, and in that case means that you have a double axle. Then you can have 6x2, which means 6 wheel locations, just like the one number 2. But in this case, you just have 2 for driving. 2 for driving, right? Yeah, 2 for giving the power for driving. So, and then you can have what you call an 8x4. 8x4 means it has 4 wheel locations, and 4 of those are for driving. So when there are 4, it means it has a double axle. Then we have articulated tractor and trailer, where we have like number 1 4-wheeler and a 2-wheel trailer. That is arranged by 2. Arranged by 2 tractor with a single axle 2 articulated trailer. Right? So arranged 4x2 means that rigid tractor, the front there, this one, this is a rigid 6x4. Most likely this one will be a 6x4, whereby you have 6 wheel locations on this side, on the other side, 3 on this, 3 on the other side. And here you have 4 wheel driving wheels locations for power. That means you have double axles with double differentials. A differential here and a differential here to give power, to distribute power to both sides of the 2 axles. Alright? And then the trailer might have 4 wheels, wheel location, or 2 wheel locations, or 6 wheel locations. Alright? Yeah. So this one will have a 4x2, means 4 wheel locations at the tractor, and 2 of those are for driving. And then we'll have an articulated trailer at the back with a single axle or 2 wheel locations. Right? Then we have a 6-wheeler tandem drive axle tractor and 4-wheel trailer. That is a rigid 6x4 tractor and tandem axle for articulated trailer. What does that mean? It means that the tractor at the front will have 6 wheel locations, and 4 of those are for driving. And what does that mean? It means it has double axle for driving and double differential, all right, for driving. So 4 wheel locations for driving, and then you have a tandem axle for articulated trailer. That means 2 axles at the back with 4 wheel locations for the trailer, where now you can carry more weight or more payload. Then we have a 6-wheeler dual steer axle tractor and 6-wheeler trailer. It means that the front there you have a 6x2 tractor, and at the back you have a triaxle trailer. A triaxle trailer means 6 wheel locations at the trailer, means much more payload. And at the front you have a rigid tractor, and that rigid tractor will have 2 wheels, 6 wheel locations, and 4 of which are for steering. So you have a double steering, yeah? Front wheels and the second there, wheel location, they are for steering. So 4 steering wheel locations and 2 driving wheel locations. So this is how they will look like. The 4x2 will have a rigid track. As you can see, has 4 wheel locations. Not when I say 4 wheel locations, I don't see wheels, alright? Not number of wheels, but 4 wheel locations. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, irrespective of the number of wheels in each location, right? So we have 2 wheels here in this location and 2 wheels in this location. But what we generally classify is that we have 4 wheel locations, 2 front for steering, and at the back 2 for driving. So this is 4x2 and 2 for giving power, right? And this one has a double steering, whereby you have 8 wheel locations, all right, and 4 of these. So this is an 8x4, all right? 8x4 is a rigid track, 8x4, with 4 for wheel location, steering wheel locations, and 4 driving wheel locations. Note the double differentials, right, for giving power, and also providing more traction. Then this one is an articulated, this is a 4x2 rigid truck with an articulated 2 trailer. 2 trailer means 2 locations trailer. But by 4x2 means 2 of those 4 locations, wheel locations on the rigid tractor is what? Is for driving wheels, right? This one is, you have the rigid tractor here, 6x4 tractor, and articulated 4 trailer, or tandem axle. Tandem axle means double axle, all right? So that you have more payload. You can carry more payload in this area, all right? The same here, we have increased the surface area of the wheels by having 6 articulated trailer, and a 6 articulated trailer 6 means 6 wheel locations at the back for more payload, of course. And the front you have 6x2 rigid tractor, and 6x2 means that 2 are for giving power, and you have 4 steering wheel locations. And that one is a rigid 4x2 truck. This one will be a rigid 6x4 tractor and articulated trailer 6. So there are 6 wheel locations at the back. You can carry more weight. With that, my great friends, we had this session, and I would like you to please subscribe and like. Click on the subscribe and like buttons, please, so that we can watch more videos. We can have more fun. We can have more experience with the time. And with that, I'll just say goodbye. See you next time.